Good afternoon, everybody. All right, Helen. All right, Malcolm.
Hi, Paul. Yeah, good, thank you.
Good.
Afternoon, all.
Afternoon. Well,
Right
we'll see
now.
who turns up today because obviously it's they're having a jolly, aren't they, in America? So
Yeah, Labour Day.
I've had quite a few people say, "Are you bothering with a session?" But I thought I'd jump on. It's not a UK bank holiday, is it?
Now, good on the Australian New Zealand market this morning.
Oh, you did well.
All four of them.
Oh, right, okay. Because I don't think Richard took any trades, did he? Well, we can ask him himself. Richard, were there any trades on Crossfire this morning, from your point of view? Because I think Malcolm's done well.
I didn't spot any.
Oh. Well, maybe
Maybe I missed one.
It was a bit later on. It wasn't between the 6th and
There
8th.
was some opportunities after 8 o'clock,
Yeah,
but I discount those because the session that we promote
Yeah.
is between 6 and 8. But I mean, I did spot a couple of opportunities after 8.
there you go. You see, Malcolm, you took action, you reap the reward.
yeah. It's just I mean, the time that I have and it's spending time sort of doing it. And Mondays is a good day because I try not to work on a Monday.
And if you just did 2% on a Monday, you'd be fine. 8%.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So it's a small group of us, as expected, and I really am expecting the markets to be very slow because America's not there. Has anybody got anything they would love to talk about? Love to ask, get help on? Because I mean, obviously, it's an ideal day.
Interesting sort of thing from David about the FTMO,
Yeah.
or my Forex funds. So
This
the
sucks
other
for me.
one, it's just so many around these days.
Well,
You've got to be careful.
look at Alistair, look, man about town. He's baseball couple.
I'm gardening.
Garden.
I'll show you a view if you want. I've interrupted Sunday, I'm sure.
Go on, yeah. Let's see where you live, and we'll talk about my Forex funds. Wow, is that where you live?
There's my sister's view over the Forth Valley.
Showing off now, aren't you?
Right, I'm going to be off video because I've got to tidy up, so I'll listen to you. Thank you very much.
Okay, no worries. Cheers, Alistair. Right, so let's start by talking about that then. So for those of you that don't know, if you're watching the recording and you don't know, but I'm sure everyone here does, my Forex funds have been closed down by the Feds pending a court case on the 11th where they're going to look at what my Forex funds are doing. So I haven't seen David Kahn's video yet. I've got about 15 videos, I think, queued up to watch. Just get into them. But this is the way I see it. Now, IM Academy, right? They sort of banned us from sharing results, and I think that ties into what's happening now. So when something goes wrong, who do you blame? Most people blame something or somebody else.
It's
rather
not
than themselves.
really, no. It's like CFX.
Yeah. So I saw one of the comments or articles, something about my Forex funds, and apparently what it was people had been reporting to the FTC that my Forex funds was a scam because they were forcing, big spreads or spikes in price to take them out. Every trader I've ever known has complained about that on every broker, on every platform, on every strategy, right? So I've not had a problem with that, with my Forex funds. But could you imagine if I was, and somebody just sent me an article, thank you. Could you imagine though, like when I was a new trader, totally convinced Japanese yen had it in for me. The evidence was there everywhere. Every time I took a trade on Japanese yen, I could prove to you that the Japanese people hated me and were deliberately making me lose their trades.
They singled you out, Paul.
They singled me out. So I wonder.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Sorry. What David was saying is his source is a very reliable, or he has followed her for quite some time. She's been trading for 8 years.
Mhm.
Said what they were doing is to do with the stop loss, was making the stop losses shorter so that it took them out the trade.
Well, I've not had that, but like I say, we'll find out on the 11th. In the meantime, I am guessing that there's quite a few prop firms this week having a look at what they're doing. And if my Forex funds have been naughty, the good news for the rest of us is it's going to stop the others being naughty, isn't it? Because they've just lost their business overnight like that. So we'll see what happens on the 11th. At the end of the day, CIA, can I control it? No. Can I influence it? No. So I just have to accept it. And I'll probably do an FTMO this week, next week. Not today, because Americans are off. So it's going to be a funny day for trading, isn't it? So in the chat, somebody, iPhone, thank you, iPhone. That might be Alistair, sent, see it, this.
Sorry, it was me. It was me.
Yeah. He sent the article about it. I think this might have been the one I read. Yeah, the complaint charges them with fraudulently soliciting customers to trade leverage margins or finance retail foreign exchange and leverage retail commodity transactions. It's in there somewhere if you want to read it. There's no point us talking an hour about it because, like I say, we can't control it, so it's just a waste of time, innit? So I'll probably do an FTMO this week, and FTMO to me are the daddy of all firms, so we'll probably try them. Which leads me into wondering. So the trade manager, that we have didn't work well on indices. Oliver has updated it. Now I've sent it to Benny. I think I put it in our little leader chat anyway. So some of us have got that to test. I've got $1 million demo account, and I put it on my $1 million funded demo account. And there's a limit on your lot size what you can do. So I need to do a new demo account, or I'm going to try an FTO demo and put it on that. So I might do that today. If we look at trades and there's nothing on, I'll set that up with you. But if anybody would like the new trade manager to try to test, the idea is it's going to look at your account and work out the lot size on the indices on the broker you're on, and we'll see if that works. Because I've had a couple of people say, I can't, I'm in the middle of a challenge and I'm stuck now because the trade manager doesn't work. So you shouldn't be stuck, because you could just work out your lot size the normal way. And I shared a way of doing it in the masterclass, master plan affiliates group. So we can look at that. Anything else anybody wants to look at today in particular?
Did you say you are going to put the new trade manager up if you want to try it?
If you want to try it, Tommy, I'll send it to you now.
Okay.
Anybody that wants to, I want to test it before I put it out for everybody, because what happens is if I just put it out, I get those messages. How do I install it? Will you install the other one? Then somebody will install it. They'll put it in the wrong category. But then I have to help them move it into the experts category. And then people say, well, how do I use it? And I say, well, you used the old one, didn't you? I'm just trying to have an easier day.
Right.
Is it just some extra workings inside, Paul, of it, or
Sorry?
is it just to do with lot sizes that it's been changed?
Yeah, on indices, yeah, because different brokers handle indices differently. So with Forex, everyone does the same. But the trade manager didn't work on indices for that reason. And nobody, those that were trading indices just use a lot size calculator, or knew roughly what lot size they wanted to use. But I try and keep things simple, but it makes it harder sometimes. So now we've had to, this is the third revamp of it. So hopefully this is the right one anyway. And this is one I want to test. So,
I'll help on that one, Paul. Don't trade indices, just straightforward Forex and the 8
yes,
pairs.
but Silver Bullet, I really like Silver Bullet. So Silver Bullet is really good. I don't think it worked this morning. Let's have a look. Let me share screen. Let's have a look.
It may be just me, the fact that you stick to one thing. If you're going all over the place and trying this and trying that.
You absolutely only need one thing. So this is US 100 on the 5 minute. So this is where we're looking here. and we got some imbalance there, look. But if you were waiting for the price to come back and hit it, you see, I want to go into that because the imbalance wasn't created in an up move. But my wave on straightforward Forex is telling me it's a buy, and we're above the 200 moving average, so that's telling me it's a buy. So I personally want to go into that for that, because that imbalance was created on a down move. And as it happens, things have gone into consolidation, and I wonder why. Oh, hang on a minute. Yeah, it's Labor Day, isn't it, in America? Everyone's having. What do you do, Tommy, in America on Labor Day? You have barbecues and family get-togethers and stuff, or is it a lazy day? What goes on?
Just a lazy
also
day
in
for me.
Canada. Oh,
Sorry, Malcolm.
it's also in Canada.
Oh well, they're lazy anyway, aren't they?
Well, yeah.
So it's a lazy day, is it, Tommy?
Just a lazy day, yeah.
Right. So no, not my Forex funds. My FX book. My FX book. Let's check for any other news, but like I say, the big news is America's having a sleepy day. You get James Bond film on the telly. When it's a bank holiday here in the UK, we tend to get James Bond film or something on the TV. Yeah, so there isn't a lot of news. 230 something on the euro, medium. So let's go and look at the scans. Let's just see if there's any scans. One scan. Right. So as you can see, it's not going to be a great day. So we'll look at the trade manager together, shall we? URAUD, was it? URAUD. Yes. So on the 1 hour, there's my D point. Is C to D at least 80? That's the first thing I want to know. Dead easy. I'd imagine yes, looking at that. 415. So do we think that counts? Yes. And I'm going to drop a pitchfork on the thing. X to C. I'm not going to be too accurate. I just need to get it on. X to C to D. Oh, look, it hit the first dotted line and it bounced off. How weird is that? Like when we teach these things, it's almost like we know what we're talking about to a degree, isn't it? Just to a degree. Then we drop down to the 15-minute time frame and I'm waiting for a wave up. We got a wave up. We've got a wave up there. So who can tell me on straightforward Forex, where would I put my stop loss?
At the bottom of the wave up candle.
That one there? Or there? You're saying at the bottom of the wave up candle, so you're saying there. All right. So if I was to put my stop loss there, we'd have a 11 pip stop loss.
Reasonable.
Reasonable. And you'd have been stopped out pretty quick. Let me just get this C point more accurate, just in case it's off. Maybe. And the X is going to be all the way back here. That's fine, as long as it goes through that point, that's fine. So what's the official advice?
The bullish engulfing.
So that's your official stop loss. Now the problem then comes with this. That's a 35 pip stop loss. So how do we feel about that?
It's a bunch.
It's safe.
Yeah, it's not necessarily too much. It's just, does it impact on my profitability? Well, yes, it will. If I bring this in, my median's all the way up there. So then I'm looking and I'm thinking, well, is there a reason why the price would go up that high? And you know me, I like my imbalance. So there's definitely an imbalance there. So I know it's a fact. The price will have to go and there's imbalance here. Look, so let's put it up to that wick. So I know without a shadow of a doubt, the price has to come up to these areas. There's something there, look, but that's been filled. These haven't, as far as I can see. So this is my thought process. If I were to take that bigger stop loss and I get in here, there's probably some imbalance on that candle there. I know it's a bit small. Let's come up to the, no, I'd say that fills it. So there's definitely imbalance higher up, isn't there? So do we stand a good chance of going up to at least this area, if not the median?
Yes.
I say yes. So I would say if I got into the trade this morning, when the wave up came, I need to put that back on. So the wave up was on that candle there. So I could have entered the trade. Actually, I could have entered the trade on the end of that candle, which would put me. So that would be a long position. So I would have got in maybe at the end of that, on the end of that candle, and I would have put my stop loss there. That is not a bad stop loss on a 15-minute, but we're so close to that dotted line for one. We're close to the 200 moving average. So I don't know if the price is going to bounce or break when it gets to that. So I'd be a bit concerned. So I'd probably want a safer stop loss if I take the trade. Not taking trades today because America's asleep, and obviously a lot of orders go through America. So there's going to be, doesn't mean to say you can't trade, but it means the market is going to be slow. There's going to be more consolidation. But if I did get in, to talk you through my thought process, that would have been my stop loss on that trade. If things were rocketing, if we were above the 200, then maybe I would have, you know, I'd take the wave up. But I'm looking at the situation. The what our ATO's not exactly setting the world on fire. It's Labor Day. We're close to these lines. Now, if I did want to risk my 1%, I'm going for the safer option. And we're saying that we stand a good chance of that, if not more. That's a 1 to 4. Anybody here not happy with a 1 to 4? If I go for that line, it's a 1 to 3. Anybody here not happy with a 1 to 3? And I say a lot, that first line there makes a great target. That first solid line. That's a 1 to 1.7. Maybe I'd still take that. But maybe I'll just nudge it to a 1 to 2, which is there. And it happens to be on that wick there, look, and there's all that noise all around this area. Look, if I were to draw a line through that, where my 2% is, can you see, look, there's a lot of noise around that kind of area, isn't there? The price got stuck right on it there. It bounced off it a few times there. It was stuck right on it there. So I might have gone for 2% on that one, but I'd have been happy to get out at 1.5, 1.7 or something if need be. If I'd already made profit this week, that's then probably when I would leave it to go up to a 1 to 4. In fact, there's imbalance up there, so you probably could go more. But do you know what? I'm happy with 1 to 4s. That's great. Most of my trades are 1 to 2 at the minute. Going through my 1 to 2 phase, the terrible 2s. Any questions on what I've gone through there? Because that is my thought process on the only scan we've got today. And I'm not going to trade it because I know it's going to be a lazier, slower day. I'll catch up with some other things I need to do.
Are you thinking that that will also affect the silver bullet the same way today?
Absolutely, it will. But it doesn't mean to say there won't be a trade. Now, if I look at this, the reason why I'd be cautious, and I haven't looked yet, I'm just looking now, right? But if I look left, is there a reason why the price could push down more?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we don't need to look far. I'm sure there's more up on the way, but look at that. Definitely. So you see here, this is a risky, not risky because the price moves up and down, but we are at a potential reversal point. Now, are we in an uptrend or a downtrend at the minute?
Downtrend.
Yeah, so I could draw it like that, or I could draw it maybe to try and get in all those points there. But fundamentally, we are in a downtrend, aren't we? So how could I make a safer trade? If I was going for a buy, what might make me a safer trade?
An alert for an uptrend.
Well, we've already got that.
Yeah,
Let's just turn the scan off. So what could I, what gold, as a big hint, might make me a better trade? I'm looking for a phrase begins with B.
have it pass through that first dotted line.
Okay, but I don't need the scan for what I'm talking about.
Oh.
What happens if it does break through that dotted line, Tommy?
It'll either break or go.
Think about the word break, people. What could I do to make this a safer trade? Right, if I ignored this so far, what might be a better area to get in? What's that mean? Break,
Good structure.
break a structure. Have we broken the downtrend structure?
Yeah,
Yes, because this is higher than that, isn't it? Downtrend, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Oh, higher high. We've broken the structure. So what happens after a break?
Retest.
We're going to get a retest or a pullback, right? So what could I now draw to give me a potential place where the price will retrace back to?
Pitchfork.
A pitchfork's already on there, so it can't be a pitchfork, can it?
Oh, sorry.
A fib.
A fib. So if I got my fib retracement and I went from the low to the breaker structure, what area might I be interested in?
That one between the red and the white.
71, 78.
71, 78. Now then, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to highlight my 71, 78 zone. And I'm also going to highlight my imbalances. Because I know the price has to fill those imbalances in at some point. If we look at that, is there an overlap?
Yes.
So have we done what I call a probability stack, that this is an important area for price?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Right. So there's also some imbalance up here, look. And I know that has to be filled. But the three lines really are the 61.8, the 71 and the 78. And the 71, 78 tends to be the one we go for usually, right? So I am not saying it will definitely happen, because who knows? But if you go and you back test this a lot and you look for your breaker structures, does this happen a hell of a lot where the price does retrace to the 71, 78 zone area? Yes, it does. When you've got imbalance there as well, that we know has to be filled, you should do a little dance, shouldn't you? Because there's still no guarantee, but now I've got two things in my favor. So what we expect is, if this is now an uptrend and we've got a higher high, what comes next?
Higher low.
Higher low. So that higher low will most likely be formed somewhere in this range here. When it does come into this range here, that's when I'd look for my buy, because it's proved its broken structure and a change of structure. That makes sense?
Mhm.
Now, the reason I never used to bother that much is because the price might fly up now and go up to the median. So I used to set my stop loss low enough that even if it did come all the way down there, I'd be okay. And sometimes I'd win, sometimes I'd break even, sometimes I'd lose, but I would put my stop loss down here. That would be a bit extreme because the price is already there. So I would wait for it to come here and you get a really good risk to reward. Now, one of the downsides is if I leave, not a downside, but I could wait for a wave up alert, couldn't I? But I'll only get another wave up alert if what happens?
You have a wave down first.
I get a wave down first. Now, in this case, it looks likely I would get a wave down and then a wave up. So I can right click, add an alert on EURAUD in a 15-minute time frame. When I get on Straightforward Forex a wave up, once per bar, click create. I'll get another wave up alert now. Sometimes you might not get another wave up. You might not get a wave down before you get another wave up. And in that case, I'll flip down to a lower time frame and set it on a lower time frame. Because look, I mean, you can see the wave is thinning, can't you, on the 5-minute? The only problem is it's Labor Day and the price is just stuck around the 200. And that's probably because it is Labor Day and there's less volume in the market. A lot of people won't be trading today. So anyway, what does it cost me to set the alert? Absolutely nothing. And if I don't take a trade, I can't lose any money, can I?
No.
Can't make any, but I can't lose any. So I'm all right. I'm all right with that. So that's EURAUD. That's my thoughts on EURAUD. Wait for it to come back here in this zone somewhere. Once it's come back to this zone, that's when I'm interested in, is it going to keep coming down? It might even come down, hit the bottom of the pitchfork and stay in the field of play. And this is why I don't like smart money. Well, personally, I like the smart money concept. I don't like to trade smart money because what you see with smart money is they say, hey, they'll say this, put your entry there on the 71, look left, put your stop loss on the previous low, and then go. And that would work. That would definitely sort of work. Look, you get a 1 to 2 out of that pretty easily, I would have thought, right? But sometimes if you look left and you put your stop loss, they might say put your stop loss there, for example, which again, great. But I know from pitchforks, the price might come and hit the bottom of the pitchfork. In which case it goes under. So I prefer to use the straightforward Forex indicator. It means I might miss 1% or 2 sometimes, but I've got a safer trade. Like the straightforward Forex indicator is telling me when the price is moving in the direction I expect it to move. I'm expecting the price to come down to here and then hopefully turn and come back up. So I'm waiting for that wave up. If you want to try and be clever, you can wait for a wave down. You can go for a wave down if you want and try and trade it down to there and get out at the 71. But personally, the scan is telling me we're expecting the price to go up to that median, which has an 80% chance. So if I've got something telling me you've got a potential 80% chance, there's no way I'm taking a sell if it says buy. If you look in the dictionary and you look at stupidity, there's a picture of me doing that, taking a sell. When that's telling me buy, and I take a sell. So yes, I don't go for it. So that's my thoughts on EURAUD. Let's just see if there's another scan come in. I doubt it. Then maybe we can look at the trade manager or something together. I might get an FTMO trial. Where are we? Discord. And a few people have jumped on, I think. Is anybody, if you've jumped on, you've got a question or anything you'd like to go over today in particular, feel free. No crossfire pairs. Oh, well done, Richard. Richard's on fire, as always. Richard's very consistent. Right. I'm just going to stop share. I'm going to set up a new FTMO demo. I don't you see my passwords and everything. We'll do an FTO demo. I'll put the new trade manager on the MT4 and we'll see how we go.
Paul, this may not be the time for it, but with what you said a while ago about disregarding the imbalance because it was made on we were in uptrend and it was a downtrend imbalance. I had not heard that before. I've been having good luck back testing the silver bullet, but I haven't given that any thought. Is that a big deal? Apparently it is.
To be honest with you, I've not come across it in any of the trainings that I watched, but it's just based on my experience.
Okay.
It's just based on, I'm figuring that if it's created imbalance, we know the banks are doing it. We know they're pumping a lot of money in to make it go that way.
Yeah.
So why do I want to go opposite?
Well, I wondered why sometimes when everything appears to be for example, a buy and you get in and you do it just by the rules, it turns around and stops you right out. It's not often, but it
Yeah.
does. That's probably has something to do with it.
Look out for that, and it might be I might have just helped save you some losing trades today, which is what it's all about. Right, I'm just putting these new login details in. Login to trade account. Paste. Right, so I'll go to this again. Log into trade account. Copy. Copy. FTMO demo server. Log in. Right, this should work. Okay. So I'll install the new trade manager I got, so you can see what I do.
Incoming mail.
Share screen. Right, can you see my trading view?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. It's the right screen then. FTMO. So I've already downloaded the trade manager that I'm going to test. I don't think I can send attachments through the chat here, can I? No. So like I say, if you want to test it, send me a message. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click, I'm going to copy that from my downloads folder. Copy. Then I come into my FTMO file, open data folder. It thinks about it. There you go. So I want MQL4, and it's an expert, not an indicator. So I'm going to double click experts. I'm going to right click. I'm going to paste. And there it is, 2.1. Now, to avoid my confusion and your confusion, I suggest you delete the old ones. So that has basically installed it now into my experts folder on my FTMO MT4. So I can now get rid of that. Now it won't show yet, expert advisors. It won't show because what I need to, it's got the old ones in still. What I need to do is right click expert advisors and click refresh. And now, as if by magic, there it is. I'm going to drag that on there. Well, I'm not. What I should do first is I want US 100. There it is, US 100. So I'm going to drag US 100 onto the chart. I'm going to put the trade manager on. Okay. Right. So let's try. So this is, what did I do? A $10,000 funded account. What's 1% of $10,000?
1,000.
How much?
No,
100.
100.
We all need to club together, get Tommy a calculator. Right. So I make it $100. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I was to go into US 100 on here, and I mean, it's consolidate, but let's suppose I'm going to go for a sell. I'm going to put my stop loss. I want to do 1%. I'm going to put my stop loss there. Look, 15534, 15534.0. 15534.0. I'm looking for this lot size to change. But for that to happen, I need the price to change. Not moving, is it?
Notice at the bottom, Paul, that the right in the bottom right-hand corner with it at the moment says 234. Yeah, I mean, unless that's gone way up, it doesn't really seem to respond.
Yeah, well, that's data going through, but nothing's moving. So, I mean, it seems to be connected. Let's just check properties on, whoops. Properties. Let's just check the properties on this. Common. Oh, allow DLL imports, allow live trading. Yeah, that should all be good. Let's put a fresh one on just to see. Ah, that seems to be doing it now. Look, see, lot size changed to 100. So we want 15534.0, 15534.0. Lot size 200. It moved down a little bit, didn't it? 155. So I'm not sure that's doing anything. So let's do 15543.1. There you go. So if that should be a 1% risk going up to not that one, going up to that one up there, yeah. One more. And then it should close me out at 2%. I should have put that 1% for the purposes of this test. But let's just see. I think that's probably working okay, don't you?
Looks like it.
14. So it's basically 14. It says 140 on this. So it's basically 14 pips. So 2.5 is that. Yeah, it's going to be about right anyway, isn't it? Let's try gold.
Oh, when you're putting your stop loss in there, like measuring the number of pips,
Mhm.
do you do that all the time, or do you use the, for example, if you were going to go for a sell, use the short position on TradeView and then put that on and see where that is initially?
Do you mean the position, this thing, the calculator?
Yeah.
Trade calculator. Yeah.
Yeah.
I normally put that on last, Malcolm, because I want to get into the trades fast, right?
Right.
Because I enter most of my trades manually. So,
Right.
so what I would usually do is, I mean, this wasn't like a proper trade, but
No.
I picked that as a bearish engulfing, right?
Right.
So that should probably be there, right? I wanted
Right.
to give it a bit of range to make sure it was calculating the price for me. So what I would normally do is I know where my stop loss is,
Right.
and I don't even normally draw a line. I'll just put my mouse on and go, oh, 15538.1, come over to here, 15538.1. That's my stop loss. Make sure that price moves. Yes, it's moving. It seems to be too much now. 155. It seems a big jump compared to the other one, doesn't it? Oh, I suppose actually though it's a shorter amount. So I normally do that anyway. Then I
Right.
get into my trade, and then I come back and I go, right, so short position. And according to FTMO broker, I got in on that one. Price is where you entered, 15528.3. 15528.3. There you go. That's where I entered. And then I drag that to my stop loss, Malcolm.
Right. Okay.
And I'm going for 2%. But I'm already in the trade when I'm messing about with this.
Ah. Okay. Yeah. So you're already in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only time is like when I'm talking to you guys about the pitchforks. That's when I'll put that on first sometimes to see where we're at and if it's worth doing in advance. But usually I'm doing it after I've entered a trade usually.
Okay. Thank you.
No worries. So, I mean, obviously the price is stuck and this is always the downside, but both of these seem spot on, don't they? That did seem like a massive lot size then, but it corrected itself. So let's try another one. Let's try another one at 15538.3. 15538.3. 10.6. Yeah, that seems about right. Yeah, and it's when you put it on sale, look, it does it spot on. when I click it on buy, it goes mad, and that's what I've been doing. I've been moving around. So this seems like it works. Let's try it on gold, shall we? Gold was the other one we had questions on.
Well, I have to go. I'll catch you soon. Thank you.
Cheers, Helen. Thank you.
See you. Bye.
I can't spell gold.
Is
XAU.
gold an indices?
No, it's metals, but it's calculated differently on different brokers as well sometimes.
Okay.
So let's suppose in, I don't know, take your pick, technically a sell. So let's suppose in then on gold, I'm going to do there, and I'll go for a sell. That'll be my stop loss, right? So I need to find gold. Don't we all need to find gold? XAU USD. XAU USD, put the trade manager on. Just make sure it's got the live trading. We'll do make sure it's got the allow imports. We're in profit. So gold 1942.06, because I noticed that this only has 2 digits, I think. Yeah, it does. 1942.06. Lot size seems right. So not letting me sell. Why isn't it letting me sell?
I don't think that lot size is right. $1942.063. I'll put 063.
Moves very rapidly, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah, I don't normally trade gold, but I might start with silver bullet. Because it does work on silver bullet, apparently. This isn't updating either, is it? On this chart. I mean, that's probably, oh, there you go. That's just kicked in. Let's try again. There's XD. Yeah, there you go. I don't know. Maybe just my computer froze. But why? It's not. That isn't much of a. There's a take profit in there. It's just closing me out instantly, isn't it? So I'm risking 1%. I want to make 2%. Let's make 10%. Same stop loss. Enter a trade. Right, okay. Now, oh, right, okay. So that should have got me out at 2%, and I don't think it got me out at 2%. Do any of you on the US 100? So if I go to my account history, that's not 2%, is it?
No.
So it's still not working. So don't bother testing it, guys. So I'll have to record a video for Oliver and see if we can get it working. There you go. I was going to have to do that after this call, so it saved me some time. Shame. So basically, it's got me out at it. That's 10%, isn't it? 2% job. It should have got me out at 200, not 22. Look, rocketing. Okay, right, leave that with me then. So that's another job I've got to do today. Right, well, look, guys, there's nothing on. There's no point staying on for the point of it. I need to go and contact Oliver. Does anybody want me to go over anything before we stop? Because I might as well. We can close early because, like I say, I'm not trading really because America's shut.
There's nothing moving on any of the pairs. That's just consolidating.
Let me just try one thing. So let's suppose in then I was going to put a stop loss there. All right. So what I could do is I could say stop loss there, take profit there. Let's do it that way around. So I could go onto here. And say, I want to risk 1%.
You didn't click DLL on that one. I don't know if you
I
meant to.
didn't, but do you know what? Do you know what, guys? Just grabbing an idea. This is a voyage of self-discovery. Just got an idea about something. What do you notice about the take profits?
Or more or less the same.
I wish I, well, I can go back in time. I wonder on the recording if that was a take profit figure put in there.
Yeah, that was one of the problems before. When I
Yeah.
could get it to take NAS 100, it kept stopping me out at about the same ratio as this. I had to enter about 5 times to get $1,000.
Okay, right. Brand new. Stop loss 15531.0. Untick the percentage take profit, and I want a take profit of 15518.3. Not got me into a trade, is it? Hmm. 5 minute, let me place a trade. 155. Oh, that's wrong. 15531.0. Okay, it won't let me take a trade. Back to the drawing board, guys. Leave it with me. Oh, I hate all this stuff. Never mind. The Hoff's got one that works. It's a paid one. We might have to put that out. And we'll see. I'll do a video later and show Oliver so we can see exactly what's happening. Maybe it's something we can't do because different brokers treat things differently. But that won't even let me place a trade, will it? Let's just close these. I love it when people say, it's great you only do 2 hours a week. Right. Put a new one on. Live auto trading. So we're going to go for a stop loss 15531.0. We're going to untick the percentage take profit. I'm going to go for 15518.3. Lot size 100, but that's not right. 15531.0. Okay. So if that's 1% risk, that's 6 pips, which would be 60 on that. So that times 4, about right. Not exact, but it depends when I hit sell. So this should close me out around about 100. Or close me out here because I put the exact take profit in. But of course, when you want to demo it or test it, nothing moves. So then you end up doing a simple test that takes hours. I've been there. When we just had the exit manager, and we used to use that, I used to say to people, put 2 trades on, right? A buy and a sell, and just put it for 2 pips either way. And once, I'm not kidding, I sat there with somebody for 15 minutes waiting for the trade to move 2 pips either way. We timed it. It was ridiculous. It was, it was one of those as well. It's always like when you're busy or something, and it's like, let's just jump on then real quick and help get it sorted. Let's just get it done. Like 15 minutes later, come on, 2 pips. time is it? It's probably going to be the same today, isn't it?
Nothing's moving at all.
I mean, so that's really sort of 3 pips. So I don't think this has moved 2 pips either way, is it either? Oh, action. You're getting excited. I'll give it 1 more minute because that's the start of a new candle, and then we'll see where we go. And I'll call it a day. So, has anybody here in a prop firm challenge or anything had communication about my Forex funds? And anything, it's affecting any other prop firm or anything?
There's a hell of a lot of speculation, Paul, on the Facebook groups. You'd expect that. Everybody knows what's going to happen.
Oh yeah, of course they do. I think if you're going to do one now, FTMO is obviously probably the safest. But I want to go and look on YouTube. There's that guy who's got a prop firm, the Funded Trader, is it? I want to see what he says about it, because that's kind of his whole thing on Facebook, is looking at prop firms. And
Was that the guy that did the interview with you?
No. It's a younger guy. Never remember his name, but he used to review prop firms, and he interviewed a lot of the owners, and then he ended up being a partner in the Funded Trader prop firm. That's quite good. They have some good offers, but I think the thing is with some of the prop firms, it's up to them. It's their business model. So what they do is, rather than take your trade and place your trade, I read one and it said they were open about it. They said, we've got like 10,000 members. We don't place 10,000 trades every day for people. What we do is we take what the 10,000 people are doing in as a consensus, the common ones, and we trade those, and that's how we make our money to pay everybody back, because everybody's passed, and they kind of amalgamated all the trades into into less than 10,000 trades, if they've got 10,000 members, for example. And that was their way of dealing with it, which it's fine. It's up to them, as long as it's legal, as long as it's ethical, and as long as they pay. I ain't got a problem with what they do. That's their business, not mine. But the accusation against my Forex ones is they are deliberately moving stop losses and things to steal money from people. That's obviously not cool, but I say I never had that issue. Makes you wonder if all like the interviews that they have with successful traders are fake, or whether they just let some people win, or it throws up all those sort of questions, doesn't it? It's a bit like Facebook ads. I had a guy making $1,500 a day with Facebook ads. He gave me his audience, he gave me his ads, he gave me his copy, gave me his audience. And I, over the course of about 2 weeks, I lost only a couple of $100. That's basically about a break even. But I had literally everything that he had, and he was making that much a day, and I lost.
Did he tell you that's what he was making, or did he show you?
I've seen it. No, I saw it. I saw it. I went out for lunch. A guy called Paul Lynch. We went for dinner. I've seen it. He showed me his account, showed me everything. Yeah, he owns a hotel. Well, he owns 2 hotels now, I think. So we were at his hotel. I did some training for him on stuff, and he was really excited about it. He was like, he says, "Look what I'm making. Look what I'm going to do. I'm going to charge people $5,000, but they'll make that back in a few days. Look at this." He was like, so he was like, "This is it. It's working. I can just give everybody my ads, my audience, and everything." And it just didn't work. And that's so. It's the same with Forex. It's like with signals. You can give everybody exactly the same signals, and yet the amount of whinging and complaining. I'm losing money, but hang on a minute. Bob's making money with the same signals. Yeah, but I missed that trade that won, and I took the 3 that lost. Well, that's not the signals, is it? You've got to be responsible for yourselves at the end of the day.
Yep.
Right, I'm getting fed up of watching this, so we'll call it a day. I suppose I ought to wait for the other 1 minute 40 seconds just to complete the hour and see if it jumps at 2 o'clock. But it looks like I've still got to spend more time trying to sort this out amongst everything else. If anybody does want to test it, like I say, I'll happily send it to you.
Thank you again, Paul.
No worries. Good. Well done today, Malcolm, on your trades. That sounds good.
Thank you.
Right, so this should close me out at $100 if it gets there, and we're at minus 80, so not far to go. I've never wanted a trade to lose more than this. That's going the other way. Scalper's delight, a trade that doesn't move. You see, I got my BBC Micro, John.
Yeah, I saw that. You've been playing with it.
Not as much as I'd like, but yeah, it's good. But I tell you what, it makes me so I had a Spectrum and moved up to an 80 to a BBC Micro, and at the time I thought, no, this is it, you know. But I tell you what, the Spectrum compares bloody well.
Yeah.
If you look at Jetpack and Commando and you play those on the BBC and the Spectrum's way better.
Really? Okay.
Honestly, I was amazed. But you can't beat Elite on
Apparently the best one out at the time, or so they claimed anyway.
the BBC Micro.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it came out in 81, same year as the ZX 81.
Yeah.
When you look at it to an 81, it's way ahead, but when you look at it towards some of the others.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
I think you should open that museum, you know.
Do you know what? There's people down here in the summer selling ice cream that must make an absolute bloody fortune in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Queues
Yeah.
going way back.
Yeah. Well, if you want some 80s memorabilia, I'll just donate some of my clothes for you.
Yeah, not quite that far back, but yeah. Do you know what? There was a guy selling on a car boot here, selling. If this does anything in the next few seconds, I'll let you know. There was a guy selling what looked like an old CRT cathode ray tube portable TV on a car boot. I want one for obviously my old computers, and it wasn't. It was an Amstrad monitor, one of the Amstrad computers. But I said, "Oh, I've got 12 Spectrums now." You know, chatting to him, he goes, "Yeah, I think I've got about 20." He says, and that's what they used to do. They used to do retro game nights. So they've got some PlayStation 1s and old Nintendos, some of the old computers and stuff. He said, "I'm getting rid of it. Don't do it anymore." And I was thinking before, you know, the only problem is all sort of blokes our age, John, are starting to have heart attacks and dementia. And
Keep yourself fit, you'll be okay for a bit longer.
it's a dying industry, isn't it?
Yeah. So he was getting rid of all of them, was he?
Sorry?
Was he getting rid of all of them?
Yeah, but in dribs and drabs, and he wasn't taking them to car boots and stuff. And I think he wanted like good money for some of it.
Yeah.
But you know, we could hire a place and have a little line them all up, get them all working.
That's it.
A holiday destination. People would come on holiday. Dads would drag their kids and wives in, wouldn't they?
I'm sure they would drag them somewhere.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what it would be. You just know.
Yeah.
When I saw Major, he's like, I can hear the partners in the audience going, "I don't know this one. When's he going to do Vienna?"
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, this is just stuck, right? So I'll if anybody wants to test the new trade manager, let me know. But hopefully, Rich is going to have a better session tomorrow when America's online. Happy Labor Day, US folks, and I'll see you on Wednesday, if not before.
Cheers, Paul.